you're hanging out with Abi and Ian, playing some nostalgic video games as a couple. We are on episode 5, working our way through Pokémon Leaf Green. Ian has a shirt that has his name on it today. It says Ian. From our other line of work. We have many lines of work. And this is one where a very lovely person made us each a shirt with their name on it, but only Ian is rocking his today. I have a sweater on, because as I said last episode, it's still winter here, and I'm protesting. But, okay, I guess we can talk about Pokemon, but I have brought, for your consideration, so I got this back in like 2002 maybe, from a penny sale at a church. It cost a literal dime, 10 cents. And that was back in early 2000s money. So that was like, what, 4 cents today? And I would like you to note, who's that Pokemon? It's Togepi! Also on the back, I don't know if you can read this, but literally the first bullet point says, new Pokemon, the baby Togepi, and the super rare, super powerful Mew. It talks about Togepi. And then, the opening page, right here. It's Togepi! So you can forgive me.
May I just do a...
Yes, you may. I'm just riled up.
She was very excited to bring this literature to you. Mm-hmm. That's why you watch this channel, Pokemon literature, and boy, you should see how many books are at her feet.
I have many.
Hey, stay out. It's not your yard, see? Me? I'm an innocent bystander, don't you know? Don't you believe me, see? And before she gets into the doctrine... we are now able to use Pokemon up to level 30. So we're going to strategically weave in our other Pokemon. Once we surf this Machop into the Stone Age, as it were.
Yes.
And, alright, sorry, Abby, what did you want to add?
I just want to add that Togepi is in here, and this is the official Pokemon handbook for allegedly the first 151. And Togepi is in here as a sneak peek as the secret 152, but considering how featured he is in the book, my 8-year-old brain, 10-year-old brain, whatever it was, did not comprehend that he wasn't part of the original 151, because I literally have a 151 handbook, and the only Pokemon in here that is not part of the 151, that is not canon in the original Pokedex in this game, is the one most heavily featured in the book. I'm protesting. I just, why? Why? I want answers, Niantic. I know it wasn't you. I know Scholastic made this, but seriously, you can't have him on the front cover and then not get my hopes up.
Reasonable.
Okay. Rant over.
Good rant. So, oh no, I've jumped the thing. So, one thing that I've done, Abby, is I put the XP share on Aerodactyl, who is still level 8.
Smart.
We have our Jolteon, our Charmander. Oh, you can just walk over these chairs. Can you walk over the books? What can you walk over here? No. The books are solid. The planter is quite solid.
Obvious signs of
There are
burglary.
obvious signs of burglary here.
Amazing.
With the planter having fallen over, is that an obvious thing?
Well, with my rage, in this episode I might be aligning more with Team Rocket. Due to my rage!
Due to the rage. So the experience share is on our friend Aerodactyl.
Nice.
I think we have to go this way.
Nice.
We are now headed down to Vermilion City, where there is an electric gym. There's the SS Anne. There's the Diglett Tunnel. All sorts of things.
We should really one day figure out how to find whatever is hidden in this path, because there has to be something. There's no such thing as an underground path without something in it. It's Pokemon.
Very true. I don't remember what I just put up front. Oh, I think I put Alakazam up front. So you're going to meet Alakazam for the first time, because he was initially present when we started our Leaf Green playthrough. But then, of course, the media didn't work, so we did get him to level 23 before we quit. But he is back. Look at his horns. He is amazing, and he knows Fire Punch. So this Weedle is about to have a very rough day.
And he was able to evolve because you have to trade him to evolve him into Alakazam.
That's right.
Or else we would have just had a Kadabra. Which is still cool, but not as many spoons.
Not as many spoons, and...
More spoons equals more power, apparently.
I'll just leave this for now. So I've set it to the shift battle style, so it means they'll tell you what's about to come out, and they'll ask if you want to switch Pokemon.
And this is beneficial.
Well, it is when we have our team, because we might want to swap out to something that's more effective.
And level things up equally.
Yeah. I knew you would want that, so...
That is true, I do. I think of all the innovations as Pokemon has progressed, a lot of things have been taken away from us, and the games in some ways have become worse. But one thing I always did love was that XP share could just be turned on for every Pokemon in your party. That was so nice, because I feel the need to level up everybody, and in Pokemon Diamond, can you even imagine how long it would have taken me if I had to individually level up pretty much every Pokemon in the entire Pokedex, because that's how I play? That would have been hard.
That would have been tough. And the XP share in this game, actually, it doesn't double the EXP or provide it to all the members of the party equally depending on their level. It just takes whatever the level of the Pokemon you defeated was and splits it with whoever has the EXP share. Now, if you're wondering how Alakazam knows these amazing moves, it is if you take an Alakazam or Abra or something of a female nature, and you breed it with a Hitmonchan, and that's what we did in Fire Red. And it's very awesome to have all these moves, because in this generation, regardless if it's a punching move, the fact that it's fire, ice, and thunder punches means it falls under the special attack purview. Oh wait, what was the next Pokemon?
I wasn't. I was listening to you.
Oh. Pikachu.
Aw, hi,
All
friend.
right, we're gonna just psychic it.
I gotta say, I think watching us attempt to hatch this Abra is in our Fire Red playthrough, in the Fire Red playthrough playlist, should you have interest in seeing our epic adventure there.
Yeah, I think it's there. And you know what? We're going to keep Alakazam out front for a little bit because it's, I think, our lowest level. And also, it just has very broad coverage. Where is the...
What are you looking for?
Amulet coin. I want to give it to Alakazam. I think Wartortle has it. Item. Take the item. Item. Give the item. He's given the amulet. Ah, Meowth has something for us.
Aw, good job, Meowth.
Boron berry.
Good job, buddy.
Ah, we have a bug trainer. I'll probably switch to Aerodactyl in this fight to give it a bit of EXP. Aerodactyl very strong against bug types because it is a flying type. Ah, Butterfree.
He's cute in this game too.
He's pretty cute, but he will not love Fire Punch.
No.
So anyway, this is I think a very strong build for Alakazam, and you'll be seeing a lot of him. He's going to be great.
Ian loves Alakazam.
Just a very cool concept. Not only the stats, so Aerodactyl, he went up to 13. Not only the stats are very good, but just his how he's designed is very good. I think a lot of Pokemon designs in the new one are kind of, or in the new generations are a bit lazy. But I think this is a strong one. Now, one thing I wanted to say is last episode hello Pidgey. Pidgey is not going to love, which I use, Abby.
Anything you want. Ice Punch?
Aya! We will use Ice Punch. Amazing. So, one thing we talked about last episode was what kind of Pokemon Abby would be bonded with if she woke up in an alternate Pokemon universe.
From Gen 1. Because I think it'd be fun to do all the generations. It's not like we don't have time.
True. Alright. I'm going to try and get Aerodactyl into the game. He's a little low level, but I think it's a Pidgey, they said. God, I hope I'm right. Yeah. And Rock Slide will be particularly good. Bum, 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 bum. Look at all the rocks.
Painful. Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I have some thoughts. It's hard to pin down what you are, because you're kind of epic. You're like a real-life G.I. Joe. It's weird.
I am very awesome. But I want to finish one thought before we get into that.
Okay.
A critical hit. It's not very effective. Because it's
Not so critical.
No, it's not as critical as all that. But I just love how this level 13 Aerodactyl is taking out these Pidgeys.
We should go like a subpar hit instead of a critical hit or something.
Yeah. So, look at that. Look at the attack. 46. Very strong. So the reason I didn't think Abby was an electric type, because a lot of you were probably thinking, Ian, you were describing a lot of character traits that would also perhaps describe an electric type. Electric being very energetic and bright and sparky.
What about a fairy type?
So there are no fairy types in Gen 1. So
so it was not included.
I shied away from that.
Gotcha.
But certainly, oh my god, look how cool Thunder Punch looks.
That's pretty cool.
Makes a bolt. Can you imagine if you punched someone when they were struck by lightning in the same second?
Sounds like a book. Anyway, so
Dangerous.
why not an electric type, Ian? Obviously, everyone's clamoring to know.
Yes, they are. And the reason they are is because, again, electric, not known for being very warm. There's really no way to, like, we're going to psychic this, eradicate. Electric has no, I mean, it can start fires, and the fires are warm, and lightning bolts can give you third-degree burns, but there's really no warm feeling with an electric type. I think an electric type person is just more hyper and less caring, I will say. And so I didn't feel Abby fit the bill. She can be quite caring, but again, as we discussed with the steak, she can be vicious also, just like a fire.
Can we heal before we go in? Get replaced?
You know what? We have so many Pokemon now. We're hopping on the SSN. Welcome to the SSN.
Gotcha.
Do we have a ticket? Absolutely we do. And so that's why I ruled that out. Abby, was there any other type of Pokemon you thought we would kind of flirt with for you?
Well, again, you in the past have said that I'm sort of like a fairy type occasionally, because we talk a lot about Pokemon. We hiked the Akshak Pass in Nunavut, and a great deal of what we talked about while we hiked through permafrost and looked out for polar bears and wondered why there were no trees. We know where there were no trees, but talked about the fact there were no trees and tried not to fall down cliffs. Remember that cliff I almost fell down and almost ended up in the ocean? That was day 2, I think. That was terrifying. But we talked about if we were a Pokemon, what one we'd end up being amongst all the Pokemon. And also if we went into a Pokemon universe and you could have your ultimate team that best reflected your personality and play style, you know what kind you would have. I think we said you could either have 2 types or you could not have certain types. Like we had type rules.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? So we're just doing Gen 1 right now, which we haven't, Abby and I have not played this game before. It is literally just for you. We're going to Earthquake this Growlithe and just see what happens.
I mean, we played through most of Fire Red, or much of, I'd say like at least 60% of Fire Red. That's most.
Yeah, true.
But this is a different game. And we also haven't finished Fire Red. And I also haven't played these games. And Ian may have 20 years ago, but he doesn't remember, so this is fun.
Look at that, 2,500.
That is some juicy booty.
That is a lot of doubloons. Okay, I think this is our healing bed, yes.
Okay. You're like, no.
No, we're
no.
on a war path. So was there any other type you thought you would be?
Fairy, Fire Fairy. I think if I myself were a Pokemon, like a new type of Pokemon, if all humans turned into Pokemon, I think my typing would be Fire Fairy. Whatever it was that I became.
Yes, but I mean for the original 150 where Fairy is not yet invented.
I'm not sure really. I might just be straight fire, you know?
Yeah, that's what we concluded. I mean, we were flirting with, as I say, flying, electric, maybe grass, maybe dragon. But again, I just didn't know if you thought, well, why didn't we consider like ghost or whatever?
Nah, I'm not a ghost type. I'm not cool enough for that.
No, I don't think so. So, okay, so Alakazam is just taken out. There's a lot of these poison types, and there are a lot of poison types generally in this kind of leaf green, fire red universe. I came through the door.
Doors are hard.
So, anything psychic is just outstanding. She does not want to fight.
You didn't talk to her?
I don't. I know who wants to fight.
You just talk to some of them. I don't know. I think you're making mistakes.
All right, we don't want to make a mistake. She would like a cherry pie.
That was worth it.
That was worth it. This is definitely a combat zone. Look at these people.
Well, there's a Pokeball. If there's a Pokeball, everyone's gonna fight you for the potion or whatever they have hidden in the corner.
Even though they already have possession of it, they will fight us for it.
Okay, so your typing is hard because Ian, in real life, was in the Navy for 10 years. He is a trained, kickboxer. He can shoot bow and arrow. He can shoot a fly out of the air with an elastic band with extreme accuracy. Like, he's kind of like, you know, people joke about, those military drones who are like they can just like the Terminator.
I think a drone is like a robot, like an unmanned.
Well, I meant like someone who is so aggressively physically fit that they will just do and not think.
Oh, maybe she means like I drone on.
You do.
Like I drone on like a buzzing fly. Thunder Punch!
So physically, you're like a ninja.
Okay.
Which is terrifying.
Well, I'm not... That is very... Thank you. That is high praise, Abby. That is high praise. I don't know if I fully agree with how cool that makes me sound, but that is very nice of you to say.
But...
What about, like, emotional and...
I'm getting there.
Oh.
But...
Wait, what was the next Pokemon?
I don't know yet. You're cutting me off.
Oh, dear.
Well,
This is how marriages fall apart. You're describing each other's Pokemon, and it all just unravels.
So I think for you, the two typings that come to mind, one of them is fighting type.
Mm-hmm.
Only because physically you have a lot of dexterity, a lot of balance, a lot of actual skill. Like, you have a lot of talent in that area. And I feel like a fighting type Pokemon has to have natural talent and also some skill.
Mm.
So I feel like that's one of the types I'm thinking about. Fair?
I think that's very cool. And also, you could even argue that lawyers have a like a combative personality in terms of defending positions, right? They're perhaps willing to, yeah. Because I guess there is an element of the physical looks of a person that goes towards the, oh, you're getting psychic. This Machop is getting psychic. But I think we should mostly base it on personality. Like the spirit animal is more based on personality. But I like what you're saying. So fighting type is on the board. I love it. What else are you thinking about?
So you're very funny. You're very charismatic. You're very intelligent.
I am really funny. I want everybody to know that.
It's funny sometimes.
Wow.
You're very good at strategy, and you're kind of cool. And for some reason, I always associate, like, hyper cool people with, like, the dark type. Not necessarily evil, because I feel like evil gets a bad rap, but sort of like the noble fruit bat in real life. You know, people would think that's like vampires and evil, but if you look at it, it's actually really cute and really silly and really adorable and eats bananas adorably. And just like kind of goofs off a little bit. So I feel like you are both cool and suave, but also really goofy. And I feel like dark type would be that type because it's cool, but also I feel like all dark type Pokemon are kind of a little bit cute and a little bit fun, and they could be silly, like Houndoom.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think to that?
I would say, based on the anime, ghost types are more what you're describing. Because remember, Gengar was always, or Ghastly or whatever, was always playing tricks.
That's true. That's true. You would be a good ghost type too. It's hard. You fit into so many categories.
Listen, this is your analysis, not mine. I like what you're saying. Also, Poke fans, Abby is very complimentary to me, and I think if you ever play games with your spouse or your significant other, be ready for this. Be ready for this, because no one really likes being complimented. But that's Abby's type. She's fire. She can't help it. She just radiates. And I am very awesome. This is true. As she has explained, apparently I'm very awesome.
I think very highly of you, but I can't say that because your head will get too big.
That's true, and then it'll be out of frame. But the problem is, my Abigail, is that there are no... First of all, the Scoldine is electrocuted. Second of all, let's actually see what the next Pokemon is, because that we're supposed to be rotating, and Alakazam is getting dangerously close to 30.
I mean, you could also fit into Psychic type, because I feel like they're very cerebral, they're very smart, but they're also kind of goofy. Like, Alakazam is one of the strongest Psychic type Pokemon in the whole game, and he has 2 spoons. And that's just so silly. It goes from Abra, who can't fight and looks like a cat, and just the only move is escape, to Kadabra, who has 1 spoon, and he's like, this is good to me. I have spoon power. And then it goes to, Alakazam, who has 2 spoons. And then in the newer games, when you go to like the Mega Evolved or the Ultra Evolved, I don't know which evolution or which max power up it is, he's got like an array of spoons. He's got the whole cutlery drawer. And that's goofy. Because spoons do not grant power in real life unless you're trying to eat ice cream really fast. But that's not good for brain freeze. So I don't advise that.
Not advised.
It's hard.
Okay, so we've got fighting type. There is no dark type in this game. We've got psychic type. Oh, almost missed this Pokeball.
How dare you? I would have said something. Yeah, no, that's another thing. So I feel dark type is one that would classify for you, but there's no dark type in this game. And there's no fairy type in this game, so that's okay.
Do you feel that my personality is rigid or flexible or... Because you could say someone who's very rigid and adamant and defiant is like a steel type. You could, or a rock type. You could say someone who is flexible is like a grass type or a water type.
See, you're in between. So you have rules and ways of doing things that you're like, this is how it is. But you're very open. If someone presents to you better information, you're willing to immediately be like, I accept. I will change my strategy. If you have a better strategy, I will change it. So you're sort of, you have a goal and you want to get to the goal, but you're very willing to pivot on how that map is presented. It's right in the middle. You know?
Okay, I would say that's like maybe a normal type or what do we do with this rat? We don't have anything that actually is... I don't think we have anybody that has a fighting type move, which is pretty sloppy on my part for planning, but what are you going to do?
Can any of them learn fighting type moves?
Well, in this game, a fighting type move is a physical move, and basically all our Pokemon, save Aerodactyl...
Or special attackers?
Our special attackers.
Yeah, not worth.
So I don't think I'm super, super hyper like an electric type Pokemon.
No. You're sort of you're very cool, calm, and collected. You're like a spy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you've seen the show Spy X Family, he reminds me of, what's the name of the main guy?
Twilight.
No, Lloyd. In his regular form. Like, he reminds me of that. Like, he can be goofy and he can be funny, but he's also very skilled and very crafty and knows what's up. Why didn't he get the Pokeball, by the way?
I have no words. This shows my craftiness, everyone. Because I left behind the one thing I was supposed to get. Okay, Growlithe. We're going to have to Psychic him and then maybe switch to something else. And now, you just said cool. Now, what kind of personality traits would an Ice type embody?
Are there Ice types in this gen? I don't think so.
Well, there's Cloyster, there's Lapras, there's...
Really?
Well,
Lapras.
There's, I think, Dugong. Wait, what was it? Shoot, I missed who it was. You know what, we're just going to switch to Aerodactyl and hope that it's something Aerodactyl. The reason we want to buff up Aerodactyl is because the next gym is the Electric type gym. And there's only one... Electric is an amazing typing in Pokemon because there's only one type of attack that's strong against it, which is ground. And Aerodactyl knows Earthquake. So we love that boosted 800 experience points. In fact, I'm just going to throw him right at the front of the party right now.
We should maybe also go down to that lady who heals us. Maybe.
We're almost finished the ship, actually.
We are?
Yep.
That's sad. I like this ship.
Lisa, I think there's one more deck below. I know Gary is about to face us this way. Do you fight, young man? No? You want to go to the Safari Zone? This cabin is obsessed with the Safari Zone.
It's their whole thing.
I think they should be obsessed with setting their table with something other than coffee. The captain said he's awfully sick.
Oh, is this the road to the captain?
I think so. So we're going to... Before we fight Gary, we're going to give poor Aerodactyl a little...
See, this is the difference between us. I would walk all the way back to get a free heal, whereas you would rather use a potion to not walk back.
A bonjour. Oh, he's French. A bonjour. Abatini. Imagine seeing you here. How is your Pokedex coming? I already caught 40 kinds, pal. Different kinds are everywhere. Are crawling around in grassy areas and look hard for them.
What's this to crawl around in the dirt?
That is his advice. And now he's got a different pose every time. Remember last time he was pointing
Yeah,
at
he
us?
had like a waiter and then he's pointing. Now he looks like he has an invisible tray on his hand. And also, he looks like he has purple wrist cuffs. Like, you know in the 80s when they did the workout videos and they had the sweatbands on their wrists? He looks like he's rocking the sweatbands with his MC Hammer pants. I don't know what he's dressed to do, what activity that is. All of them, maybe?
Maybe all of them. Okay, Kadabra. We're gonna Aerodactyl. I have faith in you. Kadabra has very low defense, so maybe as long as the Rock Slide doesn't miss, this should take him out. Whoa, Aerodactyl, you are pulling through. Look at that.
Okay, of what I've said, I might need you to help me narrow this down, because you have a better mind for the typing and what personality traits they are. I've told you the personality traits I think you've had. I've named several that I think are similar. In your experience, because I was very open that I thought I would be a fire type. I started with that. So, can you help me a little bit and guide me on what you agree with in what I said?
I think your first thing you said, okay, eradicate. No, let's let it ride, Aerodactyl. Probably this won't kill, but possibly Rock Slide will flinch this Eradicate, allowing us to finish him off with the old. Doesn't even need it. Aerodactyl is a
beast.
So Aerodactyl has a R. At least you're raising your Pokemon. R. I'm a waiter.
I ran out of me crab puffs.
I'm awaiting your conclusion. I heard there was a cut master on board, but he was just a seasick old man. Cut itself is really useful. Yep, it'll be handy. You should go see him too. Smell ya.
Well, it sounded like his sentence that the man was just sick, therefore he didn't get cut from him, therefore he stole it?
Yeah, I think so. Because we get it from this guy for rubbing his back, which he felt better after that. You can have the hidden machine. Again, more support that Gary is a nice guy. He's like, you should go talk to the captain. Cut is very handy.
But it also sounds like he mugged him while he was ill.
He might not be... He reminds me of the robot Bender.
From Futurama?
Yeah, Bender is a great friend to, like...
Fry.
I think we've been... Yes. Okay, there's one deck, lower deck. We're going to see if we can...
Find it?
A, find it. B... destroy it. Okay, I believe it's yes.
Maybe we should heal?
You know what? Aerodactyl is on a rampage. So I remember none of these chefs... What do you have to say, sir? Did you hear about Snorlax? It's a glutton. No other Pokemon eats and sleeps the way Snorlax can and does.
Now, is this where you keep going into the same trash can and finding more berries, or is that a different place?
I don't think there is such a place.
There is one trash can where you keep going in and you keep finding stuff in the same trash can. I just don't remember where it is in the game.
That's madness.
3 things. Yeah, I'm not crazy, I don't think.
Okay, did we go? We must have come from up here.
We did.
Okay, we're going to try one other place and then maybe we're done.
But the heals.
Oh no, Abigail. We don't need those heals. You leave that to... Oh, a bucket.
Indeed.
Hyper Potion.
So, what resonated with you? So you think the fighting type Pokemon?
I think, fighting makes sense. Fighting makes sense. My fighting Machoke's super strong. He can move big rocks.
I think it's the only one who didn't want to fight us and had a Pokeball in his room.
Yes. These guys look aggressive.
Yeah.
Me sailor pride's at stake. More pirates. So, okay, so fighting. So that leaves us with... And again, I recognize this is just for Gen 1, and things change as more... What kills you? I can't remember... Oh my god. It's time. I want to know if rock is weak against water. Own move type rock. No, it is not weak to water. Therefore, we shall use it on this tiny seahorse.
Tiny horsey?
Yes. Hooray.
Wow, I can't believe we used that.
We used
and
it.
we found it.
Okay, shoulder. Yes, we will change. We're going to bust out... We're going to use Jolteon's hidden power, because I don't think we've explained that. We did in our Leaf Green that will never see the light of day. So, hidden power. Let's use it. Let's see what effect it has on the shoulder.
What type of hidden power do we have, Ian?
It's super effective. Well, it's super effective against a water type. Leaves us 2 possibilities.
Which are they, Ian?
They are electric and grass. Supersonic, and no.
It must be grass then, because we wouldn't have kept a hidden power that was the same typing as the Pokemon itself. That would have just been lame.
That would have been lame. And I am a fighting type personality, as Abby says. Another thing that I like about the fighting type personality, which I think people would say about me, who know me well, is that I can be disciplined in terms of my lifestyle. And that is also, you mentioned the military. And military people are known for, probably that's the standout feature of a military person is discipline. So, do you want to fight? Fight me. Arr. So, okay. So, fighting types. The fighting types in the game are...
Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Machop, Machoke, Machamp. Are there others?
There is one other I'm thinking of, yes. Will your book help you? She's got her book out.
Don't mind me, I'm just sort of flipping. I have a hard time remembering them via what typing they are. If you remember, put it down in the comments before I find it, and help me figure out what's that Pokemon?
What's another fighting type? I'm going to suggest it's a monkey.
Oh, Mankey.
Indeed.
And Primeape. Literally right here.
And I'm trying to think if there's any other...
I don't know. I mean... I do really like... I'm going to say this. So, in this original Pokedex, the original 152... I'm just so mad. It has the Pokemon in order of the Pokedex number, so you can find them and their evolutions. And it has information about them, it has their type, it has what they're good against, what they're bad against. In the new ones, look at this nonsense. It goes in alphabetical order. So not only do you not know where in the Pokedex it is, so let's say you're playing Pokemon, and you're like, oh, I need number 70. What is number 70 so I know what to look for? You can't go to your book and reference it because it doesn't tell you what number 70 is, because it doesn't tell you what generation they're from, it doesn't tell you what number the Pokedex is for that generation, and it also isn't even it's in alphabetical order, so it doesn't even have evolutions next to each other, so you might have to flip to two different sides of the book just to see, a Pokemon and then its evolution. So I like this. This is how it should have stayed.
I'm just trying to think if there are other fighting types.
So, are Hitmonlee and they're not legendary because you can breed them.
Yeah, and they're just not legendary. So, actually, I think there is a quantitative evaluation of... By the way, Aerodactyl just rocked that tentacle. Staryu, yeah, we'll switch back to something that was a thunder move. So, Pokemon, and you can check this out on the internet, Pokemon actually have stats that their species is born with, and it can be modified with natures and IVs and vitamins and all kinds of things. But there's baseline stats. And so, for example, Alakazam has a special attack, I think, of 135 and a speed of 120, I think, and then defense like 50 and HP 50. I don't know. I don't remember them. But the whole point is, if you tally up all the different stats and it's over, I think, 540, it's a legendary.
Oh.
And so all the legendaries like Articuno and all these, Mewtwo and Mew. Like Mew, for example, has 100 in each stat. HP 100, defense 100, special attack 100, speed 100, everything's 100. So its tally is... There's 6 categories. So
600.
Tally is 600. Is that above 540? It is.
Are you above 540?
No. I'm just saying Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are not legendaries.
I know. I just, again, in my head, because of how I viewed Pokemon growing up, if there was only one in the game, I considered it in a category above a normal Pokemon.
By the way, I could be wrong about this. It's just something I remember hearing once. It also could be legendaries can't breed.
I would say Ian reminds me most of a Hitmonlee of all the fighting types. Because he always jokes about how his legs are long, skinny steaks. And
They are.
Hitmonlee is the kicking Pokemon, and he jokes that despite his steaks, he's a very good kicker.
True.
And your legs are very powerful, you run very well, you jump very high. And also, I don't know, it just has an essence. It doesn't even have a mouth, it just kind of stares at you. And I feel like that has some essence right there.
That is a great Pokemon. It is very strong, attack of 120, very cool moves, and I would consider it the wisest of the fighting type Pokemon. Do you know why, Abigail?
No. I don't.
You already said it. It has no mouth. It only listens.
Wow.
It does not speak. And that, some say, is the essence of a wise person. Because there's that expression that still waters run deep. In other words, if you're the quiet person in the room is usually the one with the most to say, right? And Hitmonlee, he doesn't even have a mouth. So
He's only got 3 fingers.
Which also reminds us of
Spock.
that, and I think Alakazam only has 3 fingers too.
Possibly.
But we can check because we actually have a book, a reference point to look at fingers. So while she's looking that up, why don't we...
Do you remember where he is in the...
There he is.
Alakazam does have 3 fingers.
Alakazam and Hitmonlee have the same hands. Conspiracy?
No.
No. Most Pokemon seem to have 3 fingers. But no, that's a great compliment to be called Hitmonlee. Very, very cool Pokemon. And I would be very excited if it were in my egg and I were transported to a faraway planet in the world where the monsters ruled. Which is a quote from a theme song of a children's show I used to watch. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. This was a bit longer than usual, but we did want to get through the SS Anne, and in the next episode, we go up against the Electric Gym. I forget the guy's name, Faulkner or Voltface.
Voltface. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you guys have a great day.